And the modern detective work which solved the mystery of a Coldstream Guard killed in action 200 years ago.
But his identity may never be known.
For months now, the Queen's personal soldiers, the Coldstream Guards, have been preparing for the Trooping the Colour parade, which takes place a little later today.
But behind the scenes, the regiment has also been trying to solve a 200-year-old mystery sparked by the discovery of the remains of a soldier in Holland 2 years ago.
It's emerged he was part of a British force which had landed there in 1799. Our defence correspondent Caroline Wyatt has been following the historic trail.
For hundreds of years, the tides have swept this beach. But it wasn't until 2 years ago that a shift in the sands uncovered their secret. The last resting place of the bones of a mystery man buried in the dunes. A team of Dutch archaeologists was called in to investigate further.
You could barely see it. It was just mixed in the sand. But yeah, it was the remains of a man with some artifacts from the period of 1799. It was really special. I mean, you know instantly that this is something that has never been found before.
Esther's detective work helped identify the bones as those of a Coldstream Guard, thanks to the remains of the muskets and the distinctive buttons buried with the soldier. He'd been among those sent to Holland to fight in an almost forgotten war in August 1799. This is exactly the sort of uniform that the Coldstream Guard soldier was buried in, and it was these buttons that allowed his regiment to be identified. But his identity may never be known.
According to our history, we can pin it down to, on that day of the landings, we lost 7 soldiers, with 1 missing. And indeed, the archaeologist has suggested, having looked at the muster rolls in the National Archive, 6 names. But I think to narrow it down to a single name would be quite challenging.
Wapens, munitie, kledingknopen.
The Coldstream Guards still wanted to honour their fallen comrade, sending Captain Oliver Morley to attend a special ceremony in Holland to collect the remains of the unknown soldier and bring them home.
It's something that we do today as an army, and I've seen friends, soldiers and comrades repatriated in Afghanistan. And to come here and do it to a soldier, although it's 214 years ago and I don't know who he was, I think it's still a nice thing to do.
We have come to lay to rest a fallen soldier. He was and always will be a member of his regiment.
At the Guards Chapel in London this week, the unknown soldier was finally laid to rest in the presence of veterans of the Coldstream Guards, as the chaplain buried his ashes in the consecrated earth of home. Caroline Wyatt, BBC News at Wellington Barracks.
What an amazing story.